Good morning, second graders. I'm happy to see you this morning. We're going to read a book in a little bit, and I'll tell you about that in just a minute, but I wanted to introduce my friend that I brought with me. This is my friend Cooper, and he lives with me. And some of you may remember seeing Cooper if you went to Southview last year. You may have seen us in the hallways or something because we came over and worked with a reading program there. And Cooper really enjoyed having different kids read to him. So I brought him along today. He may not stay on the chair very long, but he's going to walk around the room and be listening from there. Okay, the book we're going to read today is called Josie's Lost Tooth, and it's by Jennifer Mann. This book is about two people. This is Josie right here, and this is Richard, her friend. And Richard and Josie are in the same class at school. And I'm sure some of you have had the experience of having a tooth come out, and we're going to read about that now. All right, here we go. Josie was the monkey bars champion of her class, and she was almost the fastest runner at recess. She was the first one to read a whole book by herself. It's quite an accomplishment. But Josie was the only one in her class who hadn't lost a tooth, not a single one. You can see their class pictures over here. You probably can't tell, but they've all got a gap in their teeth where they lost a tooth, all except Josie, because she hasn't lost any. When Richard lost his first tooth, he showed it to Josie and showed the coin he got from the tooth fairy. "She sneaks into your room when you're asleep and takes your tooth?" Josie asked. "Yep," said Richard, "and she gives you money for it." So over here, Josie is dreaming about the tooth fairy coming to her when she loses a tooth. Josie checked for a loose tooth every night, but nothing moved, not even a little bit. So she's still hoping to lose a tooth. "I lost a tooth at breakfast," Richard said one morning. "I brought it in with my shark tooth for show and tell. Sharks' teeth fall out when they chomp onto boats or giant squid." "I wish I could chomp into a squid," Josie said. And here's a squid over here. He's kind of a strange-looking animal. That night, when Josie checked her teeth, she felt one move, just a little bit. Finally, a loose tooth. She couldn't wait to show Richard. "Look," Josie said at school the next morning, "I have a loose tooth. I'm going to hang upside down on the monkey bars until it falls out." "Cool," said Richard. "Can I have a turn when you're done?" So here's Josie right here hanging upside down because she thinks her tooth may come out. But when the bell rang a few minutes later, Josie's tooth was still attached. At lunch, Josie saved her apple for last. "My tooth is going to come out when I chomp into this apple, like when a shark chomps on a squid," she said. So she ate the apple and it was still there. "Your tooth is still there, Josie," said Richard. "Want to try my carrot sticks instead?" But those didn't work either. This tooth is kind of stubborn. When Josie found Richard at recess, she said, "Watch this. I'm going to pull my tooth out with a string." I don't know if some of you have tried that. That's one of the ways people get a loose tooth out. But here she is with the string and she's ready to pull on it. "Did it work?" she asked. Richard looked inside Josie's mouth. "Still there," he said. Josie wondered if she would ever get a coin from the tooth fairy. What if she had baby teeth for the rest of her life? Just then, Richard ran by. "Want to play sharks?" he said. "All right," said Josie. "I'll be the shark." But just when Josie was about to catch up with Richard, wonder what happened here. Oops. Splat! She tripped and fell. Now her tooth is really tiny, but it came out of her mouth. I can see it in the picture. You may not be able to see that. Josie felt around in her mouth with her tongue. Her tooth was gone. "Oh no," she gasped, "my tooth." Richard helped her look for it, but Josie's tooth was nowhere to be found. "Maybe you swallowed it," he said. You can see they're looking in the grass for it in case it fell out there. While Josie was in the nurse's office, Richard tried to cheer her up. "At least you finally lost a tooth," he said. "I didn't want to lose it, though," said Josie. "Now, what will I leave for the tooth fairy?" "You can try leaving one of my shark's teeth," Richard offered. That night, Josie held the shark tooth up to her gap in her teeth. It made her look pretty sharky, but it wasn't her own tooth. She decided to leave a note for the tooth fairy under her pillow with the shark tooth. And here's her note. "Dear Tooth Fairy, I lost a tooth today, but I can't find it. My friend Richard said I could leave his shark tooth for you instead. I'm the last one in my class to lose a tooth, so please still leave me a coin. Love, Josie." When Josie checked under her pillow the next morning, there was a note from the tooth fairy, and something else too. She couldn't wait to show Richard. My goodness. "You got a shark tooth necklace?" asked Richard. "Yep," said Josie, "and she left one for you too." "Cool," said Richard. "Want to play sharks?" "Okay," said Josie, "you can be the shark and I'll be the squid." And they run off playing sharks. That was a good book. I enjoyed that one, and I hope you did too. I'm going to kind of challenge you to do something at home that has to do with teeth. And I think you probably already know it's very important to brush your teeth every day, not just once in a while or not just when you feel like it, but every single day to keep them clean and healthy. So I'm going to see how many of you could brush your teeth every day for an entire week. So 7 days in a row, you'll need to brush your teeth. So that's your challenge for this time, and I'll be back another time to read to you again. Thank you for listening. Bye-bye.